Story. Once upon a time, a developer built a team of AI agents that was, well, just a little too smart. Seriously, they got caught up critiquing and debating each other in this endless, brilliant loop of ideas, but they never actually shipped any code. So, level up, study buddy. Let's build a team that actually gets things done.
You know, today we are tackling one of the biggest challenges in building a digital workforce, finding that perfect sweet spot between a super controlled workflow and, creative chaos. That line is way thinner than you might think.
Okay, let's break this down. On one side, you've got pure rigidity. Think of it like a railroad track, right? It's predictable, it's efficient, it gets you from point A to point B. But what happens if a single piece of that track is broken? The whole system just grinds to a halt. If your AI architecture is too strict, it's going to break at the first sign of trouble. But on the other side, you've got chaos. A big, beautiful open meadow. There are endless paths to explore, which sounds great for creativity, but your agents could end up just wandering around forever, lost in what we call unproductive dialogue, never actually reaching their goal.
So how do we handle this? Well, let's explore the two main ways people orchestrate their AI agent teams. We're talking about the path of defined control versus the path of dynamic emergence.
First up, let's talk about the path of control. This one is all about structure, all about predictability. Think of it as the project manager approach, making sure the trains run on time every time. We call this defined control, and frameworks like CrewAI are a perfect example. It's hierarchical and event-driven. But the magic word here, the one you really need to remember, is deterministic. It means you set up the order of tasks beforehand so the whole process is predictable because the path is already carved in stone.
And this is exactly what it looks like in practice. It's a really clear chain of command. A task gets assigned, an agent executes that task, the output gets checked and validated, and only then does the next task get triggered. It's just step-by-step, clean, with no surprises.
So what's the big deal? What's the superpower you get from all this structure? It's auditability. Every single step is predictable and traceable. When you're building real-world business applications, that is absolutely critical. Control gives you that power.
Okay, now let's flip the script. We're getting off the railroad tracks and we're stepping into that wide open meadow. Welcome to the path of emergence, the brainstorm approach.
This is what we call dynamic emergence. A great example of this is the AutoGen framework. Here, it's not a top-down approach. It's more like a swarm, where solutions just bubble up organically from a free-flowing conversation between agents, something they call AgentChat.
And that's the key difference, right there. There is no predefined sequence of steps. The agents talk, they argue, they build on each other's ideas, and through that whole process, they discover a solution that you might never have even considered.
And that leads us to its superpower, pure innovation. The emergence approach is perfect for tackling those really messy, complex problems where you don't even know what the steps are supposed to be. It's fantastic for research, for prototyping, for coming up with truly new ideas.
So this brings us to the core trade-off. It really boils down to this. You're always making a choice between a system you can audit and a system that can innovate. And listen, one isn't better than the other. They are just built for completely different missions.
Let's put them head to head. With defined control, your predictability is super high, which is exactly what you want for reliable business processes. But the risk? It can be brittle. It might snap when something unexpected pops up. Now, on the flip side, with dynamic emergence, predictability is low. But it's amazing for prototyping and research. The main risk here? Getting stuck in those endless brainstorming loops we talked about at the very beginning.
All right, that's enough theory. It's time for a mission briefing. Let's put what you've learned to the test with a real-world scenario. You ready for this?
Okay, here's the mission. You have to build an AI agent that drafts a legally binding contract. So what do you choose? The rigid, predictable path of control or the creative, chaotic path of emergence? Go on, take a second to think about it.
If you said control, you are absolutely correct. For a job like this, there is no other answer.
And here's exactly why. A legal contract demands a predictable, step-by-step workflow. You need to be able to audit the entire process for legal reasons. This is a scenario where you need 100% reliability and absolutely zero creative deviation. Let's be honest, you really don't want your AI getting innovative with contract law. And that right there is the big takeaway for today. There is no single best way to do this. The right approach is always mission-dependent. Your job, as the person building these things, is to look at the task, figure out the level of uncertainty, and then pick the right tool for the job.
Like, share, and subscribe to Study Buddy with Notebook LM for your daily guide to building a digital workforce. Stay agentic.